So Dom, I've had the privilege of hearing you talk about raising kids a few times now. And one of the points that I always love to hear about, and I'd kind of like you to elaborate a little bit right now, is this idea of raising kids you want to be with. What does that mean? What does that look like?
Well, I mean, if you don't want to be with them, nobody else does.
That's a fair point. Fair point.
Like, you should want to be around them. You know, you need to. I can't drive through Tim Hortons. This is one of my complaints.
Yeah.
And get someone to say, please, thank you, or you're welcome through my order. It's a pet peeve of mine, you know. I get, yeah, have a good one, or or no worries, or whatever. But to raise polite children that say please and thank you and you're welcome, I'm sorry, teach them early to say that. There's lots of adults who can never say they're sorry. Not a good thing in life, in relationships. And then teach them to be respectful. You know, the kids don't know what respect is. You have to teach that to them, right?
Yeah.
So when your kid's like standing like this, you're doing the whole thing, and you go like, no, stand up straight.
Yeah.
You know, and look me in the eye, and let's have a conversation. Yeah. So when you make that face, you know, you're telling me to off, and you don't. I'm not telling you that. Yeah, you are, with your body language, with your face. That's not a good thing for a kid to do. So. Yeah, teach them to be respectful. It's huge.
Just a quick question, I guess interjection and question in that is, you know, I mean, we have so many different cultures even represented locally. You know, respect,
which is great.
Yeah, which is awesome, but respect looks different in different cultures. So how do we as parents engage with that? I mean, that's a...
Korean Airlines,
Yeah.
you know, ditched planes into the Hudson because they wouldn't argue with air traffic control. They would politely suggest that they were running out of fuel. And everybody had to be retrained, because that culture of respect, that you don't tell authorities what to do, you hint, right? And in this culture, you go, I'm running out of fuel, give me a runway now, right? So it's totally cultural, absolutely. And in our culture, it's look me in the eye.
Yeah.
In an Asian culture, if you would show respect by not looking someone in the eye. And that's why you have to teach them that. You know? Because enjoying your kids, you know, if them not cleaning up their mess bothers you, then teach them to clean up their mess. So they're enjoyable to be around. Whining, you know, I love what the younger generation, not my generation, we didn't use it. Use your words.
Yeah.
You know, don't whine, use your words. I love that. And, you know, teaching them to obey on the first request. Like when you go, now, okay, now that's it. That's the last time. Like, why did you train them to disobey you the first 3 times? Yeah. Right? Well, I'm going to say it once, and then there'll be a consequence. And I'll say it a second time, but the consequence will now be doubled. You want to go for triple. You know, how long you want to go with this? Because I can go all day. You know? And part of the problem is, I think parents are afraid to take, and don't want to take the disappointment of their children or the anger of their children. But you know, when a kid says, I hate you, you can't let that bother you. I mean, that's water off the duck's back. You teach them not to say that, but you don't take that personally. They're kids, right? Parents that idolize their kids like idols, you know, Moloch, idol worship. That's demonic stuff, right? We don't love people we're afraid of. And if we're afraid of our kids' rejection, that means we're not loving them. So we have to be able to be strong enough and discipline them so that we have kids that, hey, you're home. My wife cries every time they get on the bus. I'm not saying all women should be like my wife. Okay. Although, I think she's the best.
That's fair.
You know, she always cried when the kids got on the bus in September. They sang that, it's the most wonderful time. The kids will go back to school. She just likes them. And I think when they handed David to us the first day when we left the hospital, they said, enjoy. And that stuck with me. And I've wanted to and continue to enjoy my kids. And you can, but you got to discipline them to get them there.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the rest of our segments on parenting over on our channel. For the full parenting seminar, click the link in the description.